Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also a pedophile. Tom Hanks, folks, is a pedophile. I'm sorry if this is the kind of bursting your bubble, all this information is new, because at the top levels of wealth, of power, the very top levels, these people are just sick and psycho.
Isaac Kappy was right, and Tom Hanks' darkest connection to the powers that be is finally being revealed. Before his death in 2019, Isaac Kappy made a disturbing claim that rattled Hollywood. He named Tom Hanks, calling him a predator and hinting at something much darker. Days later, he was gone.
Struggle against darkness. This struggle against darkness consumed me. It consumed me. Yeah, I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad guy. I let the darkness consume me. I'm not suicidal. I'm not going to tell you what I did because at this point, it still could endanger people. And I don't want to do that. Can you help me? You can pray for my soul.
And if that wasn't disturbing enough, Tom Hanks posted a bizarre photo right before Kappy's death. A glove on Route 66. Captioned Roadkill? It wasn't just a weird post, it felt like a message. So now the question is, was Kappy spiraling into delusion? Or was he silenced for exposing something terrifying? Let's get into it. Isaac Kappy didn't whisper his allegations. He didn't sugarcoat them or hint at something vague behind Hollywood curtains. He said it loud. He said it clear, on camera. And he named names.
Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also a pedophile. Tom Hanks, folks, is a pedophile. I'm sorry if this is the kind of bursting your bubble, all this information is new.
These weren't the ramblings of someone drunk on fame. They were the final words of a man who genuinely seemed to believe he had uncovered something so dark, so dangerous, that speaking it out loud might cost him his life. Then, on May 13th, 2019, Isaac Kappy was dead. Thrown, or as officials claimed, he jumped from a bridge in Arizona. The coroner called it suicide, but people who had followed Kappy's final weeks weren't buying that story.
I'm a bad guy. I let the darkness consume me. I'm not suicidal. I'm not going to tell you what I did because at this point, it still could endanger people, and I don't want to do that. Can you help me? You can pray for my soul.
Now, what felt even more suspicious to many was that just days before his death, Tom Hanks posted something odd on Instagram. A photo of a glove lying on Route 66. The caption read, "Historic Route 66. Roadkill? I hope not." To the average person, it might seem like just another quirky post from a celebrity, but to those who were already suspicious, it felt like a code, a nod, maybe even a warning. Because if you believed Isaac Kappy was murdered, then Tom Hanks' post didn't feel like a coincidence. It felt like a message. But who exactly was Isaac Kappy? And why did he matter? He wasn't a household name. You might have seen him in movies like Thor or Terminator Salvation. He had a guest spot in Breaking Bad, not a star. Just another background character in the machine of Hollywood. Until he decided to speak. When the lights went off and the camera stopped rolling, Kappy took to social media, where he started making bold, chilling allegations against some of the most powerful people in the entertainment industry. Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, Seth Green, Oprah. He didn't just imply wrongdoing. He described Hollywood as an elite circle with a dark underbelly, one filled with manipulation, abuse, and silence. At the top levels of wealth and power, he said, these people are sick and psycho. He wasn't vague. He didn't hedge. He sounded angry. He sounded scared.
Because at the top levels of wealth, of power, the very top levels, these people are just sick and psyched.
To many, he also sounded unstable. His posts were erratic. His behavior spiraled. But to others, especially those in conspiracy circles, he sounded like a whistleblower, a man who had seen too much and couldn't unsee it. His followers believed he was risking everything to get the truth out, and in the end, some believe he paid for it with his life. Just hours before his death, Kappy left a cryptic, emotional message on Instagram. It wasn't just a farewell, it was a confession. While I supposedly wanted to make America great, he wrote, I have not put much work at all into making myself great. He apologized. He said he had been arrogant, that he had hurt people. But he also insisted that the world needed to hear what he was saying. "I hope that this comes into the open," he wrote, "because we are going to change the way everything works." These aren't the words of someone who was giving up. These are the words of someone trying to say goodbye on his terms, while leaving behind a final warning. And yet, despite the intensity of what he was saying, Tom Hanks never responded. Not once. And that silence? It became part of the story. It fueled the suspicion, because if someone falsely accused you of something so horrific, wouldn't you fight back? Wouldn't you sue? Deny? Call it out? Tom didn't do any of that. He kept posting pictures, kept smiling for the cameras. And to the people watching Isaac Kappy's story unfold, that silence was deafening. Then came the theories. One of the most infamous was the red shoe symbolism, a conspiracy theory claiming that red shoes are worn by elites as a hidden symbol of their involvement in occult practices and worse. Absurd? Yes. Anti-Semitic in its roots? Absolutely. But conspiracy theorists latched onto it and pointed to Tom Hanks' 1985 film, The Man with One Red Shoe, as evidence.
Because he was in the right place at the right time.
It didn't matter that the film was a lighthearted comedy. To the believers, it was coded messaging. Then there were the Instagram posts. Hanks' photos of lone gloves, shoes, socks, captioned with quirky phrases. To the average fan, they were just weird. But to those immersed in these rumors, they became breadcrumbs, clues. People began combing through his interviews, his film roles, even his award speeches, looking for anything that might signal guilt. It might sound like a stretch, but when the person fueling these claims ends up dead, and the man at the center of the storm remains silent, that silence becomes louder than words. And then, just when the chaos surrounding Isaac Kappy's death seemed to simmer down, someone stepped up. Someone who didn't speak in hashtags or codes or conspiracy theories. Someone closer to Tom Hanks than any tabloid journalist or internet sleuth could ever be. His own son. And what Chet Hanks revealed about his father wasn't about cults or hidden symbols, but it was damning just the same. You see, back in 2024, Chet laid bare the bitter truth about growing up in the illustrious shadow of his famous father. He accused Tom of being too busy chasing Hollywood's elite circles, all while neglecting his own family. Chet's tell-all video, cleverly disguised as part of his self-mastery program on his YouTube channel, reveals the heartbreaking struggles he endured as a young boy, dealing with relentless bullying at school without the guidance of a strong and supportive father figure. Instead of being there for his own flesh and blood, Tom allegedly seemed more obsessed with seeking fame and cozying up to the high and mighty in Tinseltown.
It was extremely hard to break down their walls, so I encountered a lot of disdain, a lot of animosity, a lot of negativity, because everybody was just prepared to hate my guts.
The aspiring rapper expressed profound disappointment and loneliness, sharing how relentless bullying at school left him without a strong male role model to turn to for guidance. Instead of being a present father, Tom seemed more focused on basking in the limelight and gaining favor with the glamorous Hollywood crowd. "I didn't have a strong male role model to tell me, 'Bro, F these people. They are just jealous of you,'" Chet revealed with a tinge of resentment in his voice, implying that his father's quest for fame and elite connections left him feeling neglected and without the support he needed during those difficult times. Chet went on to recount how the privileges of growing up as Tom Hanks' son brought along its own set of challenges. He became a target of jealousy and animosity, with people forming negative opinions about him without even bothering to get to know the real him. Instead of standing by his son and offering guidance through these trials, Tom appeared to be too absorbed in the perks of fame, jetting around the world and rubbing shoulders with the Hollywood elite.
And that caused me to develop a chip on my shoulder and walk around with a lot of anger. All in all, it just led me down a path of self-destruction.
Chet revealed that his father's fame and stature had created a wall of contempt around him, making it difficult for him to connect with others. While Chet acknowledged the unique opportunities that came with being the child of a Hollywood icon, he couldn't ignore the loneliness and isolation he felt due to his father's absence from his life. His grievances seemed to point to Tom's relentless pursuit of fame and validation, which overshadowed his responsibilities as a father. My experience was even more complicated because, on top of fame already being toxic, I wasn't even famous. I was just the son of somebody famous, so I hadn't even done anything to deserve any sort of recognition. And that created a lot of contempt. Contempt for me, my dad is beloved. He's on a pedestal, Chet shared, shedding light on the disparity between his father's adoration and the resentment directed towards him. As the video spread like wildfire across social media, opinions are divided about Chet's revelations. Some view it as a cry for attention, while others see it as a brave revelation against the darker side of Hollywood fame. In any case, it seems like Chet's revelations were nothing if not the actual truth. You see, despite Tom not being intentional about parenting, his association with Hollywood elites has been evident. In fact, it seems to have paid off in more ways than one. First, we have the 2016 award that Tom received from then-President Barack Obama. Tom Hanks was honored by President Barack Obama with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest possible honor for a U.S. civilian.
Thomas J. Hanks.
The medal is given out to the nation's best athletes, performers, and scientists. In addition to Hanks, Obama gave medals of freedom to Robert De Niro, Bruce Springsteen, Diana Ross, Michael Jordan, architect Frank Gehry, philanthropists Bill and Melinda Gates, and mathematician Margaret H. Hamilton. Obama bestowed especially high praise on Hanks, describing him as America's dad, and going on to say that Tom has always saved his best role for real life. He is a good man, which is the best title you can have. The audacity. One fan even commented on the award saying, "That must be the I'm the sickest F in every room I ever go in to medal." I mean, sure, Tom might be a talented actor, but that doesn't automatically make him the perfect dad. Chet's revelations paint a different picture altogether. Being a good man in real life? Well, actions speak louder than words, and it looks like Chet's experiences tell a different story. Anyway, fans quickly connected the dots and suspected that those sneaky Hollywood elites might have pulled some strings to get Tom that prestigious award. I mean, it's no secret that he's rubbed shoulders with the big shots in Tinseltown, and when you're buddy-buddy with the powerful and famous, who knows what kind of favors they can pull off. What's more, Hank has a wide range of friends who most fans consider to be elite in the showbiz industry. From co-stars like Meg Ryan and Julia Roberts to directors like Steven Spielberg and Ron Howard, Tom Hanks has built a network of influential friends throughout his career. These relationships extend beyond just professional collaborations, as Tom has often been seen socializing with these high-profile individuals in various settings, further solidifying his status in Hollywood's elite circles. Picture this, the cream of Hollywood, including the likes of Barack and Michelle Obama, Steven Spielberg and Kate Capshaw, Bruce Springsteen and Patty Scialfa, all gathered under one roof. And whose roof, you ask? Well, none other than Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson's $26 million Pacific Palisades mansion. Talk about a star-studded affair. It was a Sunday night to remember as the celebrity power couples descended upon the Hanks home around 7 p.m., ready to party the night away. And what was the occasion, you may wonder? Oh, just the celebration of Tom and Rita's 35th wedding anniversary. But hold your horses, because this wasn't your average candlelit dinner for two.
Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson are celebrating their love. The longtime couple marked 35 years of marriage over the weekend and celebrated with a sweet tribute.
Tom and Rita decided to go all out and turn their anniversary into a weekend-long celebration by inviting some of Hollywood's most powerful and elite stars for a low-key dinner at their lavish home. And trust us, when Hollywood royalty comes together, you know it's going to be a night to remember. The Hanks mansion, nestled in a quiet cul-de-sac, played host to this exclusive gathering, and it was the place to be for all the creme de la creme of the entertainment world. Paparazzi were undoubtedly clamoring to catch a glimpse of these iconic personalities as they arrived one after the other. Can you imagine the sight of Barack and Michelle Obama, Steven Spielberg and Kate Capshaw, Bruce Springsteen and Patty Scialfa, all rubbing shoulders and sharing laughs under one roof? Simply iconic. And here's the weird part. The party went on until well after midnight. That's right, folks. This star-studded bash showed no signs of slowing down. In any case, following these claims made against Hanks, there have been rumors that the Illuminati wants to put him out in order to avoid being exposed further. A while back, some people were claiming that Tom Hanks was being detained in order to make way for the emergence of Michael Clark Rockefeller, who is deceased.
Michael Rockefeller was not only the son of one of the richest and most powerful men in America, he was the son of the governor of the state of New York.
You and I, and even the likes of the people on the Turner Classic Movies, understand that.
Now, the question is, why would he be arrested and replaced so swiftly? Well, that's likely because he has been quite vocal about the alleged dark truths of this industry. For example, as a figure renowned for his credibility and moral values, Tom Hanks has left both fans and industry peers in a state of shock and deep reflection with his recent revelations. His courageous choice to address a deeply ingrained and sensitive issue not only highlights the gravity of the situation, but also prompts unsettling questions about the extent of these alleged wrongdoings at the heart of the entertainment industry.
There's a boss with underlings in any corporation or any industry. You have a type of sexual politics that goes on that can slide in between.
Apparently, Hollywood's once gleaming facade has begun to reveal cracks, particularly as a rising number of its members summon the courage to draw back the curtain and unveil long-held dark secrets that have remained concealed for decades. Tom Hanks, with his illustrious career and unblemished reputation, stands as a paragon of virtue in an industry that is often marred by controversies. According to him, I have pulled every single one of those moments of behavior myself on a set. Not everybody is at their best every single day on a motion picture set. I've had tough days trying to be a professional when my life has been falling apart in more ways than one, and the requirement for me that day is to be funny, charming, and loving, and it's the last way I feel. Tom Hanks' voice holds substantial influence, and his recent remarks have brought a noteworthy perspective to the ongoing conversation. Beyond his cinematic achievements, Hanks is revered for his humanitarian initiatives, steadfast dedication to social causes, and a remarkable ability to stay grounded despite his monumental success. In an industry where power and influence can sometimes blur ethical lines, Hanks has consistently championed principles of righteousness.
The entire industry is at a crossroads, and everybody knows it. The financial motor.
Tom Hanks' disclosures regarding the concealed motives and sinister agendas of certain influential figures within Hollywood have been simultaneously eye-opening and profoundly disconcerting. Through a series of candid interviews, Hanks has courageously explored the prevalent problem of undue pressure within the entertainment industry. He has passionately advocated for transparency, justice, and a fundamental overhaul of the industry's alleged power dynamics.
There is some degree of pie here that is going to have to be equitably distributed by the people who are responsible.
By recounting instances where influential figures have abused their positions, Tom Hanks has underscored the pressing necessity for self-examination, reform, and accountability within the entertainment industry. These revelations take on even greater significance when considered alongside the stories of other courageous individuals like Rose McGowan and many more who have shared harrowing experiences of mistreatment at the hands of industry moguls such as Harvey Weinstein.
There are countless women who understood that that's what happened, and there were many people who said, well, that's just Harvey being Harvey.
The subsequent #Me Too movement stands as a testament to the collective strength of survivors and has ignited a global dialogue about power, consent, and systemic exploitation. Apparently, throughout his discussions, Tom Hanks has voiced the imperative for a cultural shift, not confined solely to Hollywood, but encompassing society at large. He has underscored that the issues afflicting the entertainment industry are, in essence, a reflection of broader societal challenges.
Appropriate ethics and decorum to, inappropriate behavior to the point of harassment and sexual predatory behavior.
The abuse of power, the silencing of victims, and the culture of complicity are not limited to the world of silver screens. In a comprehensive discussion with Jeffrey Brown, Hanks delved deeper into the consequences of the Weinstein scandal and how its ripple effects have reverberated throughout Hollywood.
I think there are people that say, hey, this is how it works, pure and simple, and this is why I got into it, and this is why I have power. This is how it works, and you have to understand that.
This isn't the end of it. He appears to have an abundance of tales to share with others, an attitude that the industry appears to remain intolerant of when anyone broaches these subjects. This looks like the reason people believe they followed a similar pattern with Tom, almost as though they meticulously orchestrated an agenda to discredit him or supplant him with an alternative. Once Tom said to his interviewer, "You will be amazed at how many people know that they can get away with it, and are told they can get away with it because they are carrying the movie on their shoulders." Speculation arose when a widely shared Facebook meme made the baseless claim that Tom Hanks was seen wearing an ankle monitor and had been arrested in Australia. Although there are no solid pieces of evidence to support this speculation, people believe the news. The claim reads, "Look who has a new ankle bracelet, Tom Hanks. Some of you don't know it, but Mr. Hanks was arrested in Australia for you-know-what. He went on national TV to say he had COVID and he was quarantined himself. Not true. He was in custody for a time, then house arrest is in his hotel. Now he's a flight risk." This claim appears to be linked to the debunked QAnon conspiracy theory, which falsely alleges that influential celebrities are involved in a child ST ring. Similar claims about Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres wearing ankle bracelets have been debunked by the Reuters fact-check team. In the case of Tom Hanks, the photos used in the claim depict him in Los Angeles on May 20th, 2020, wearing a green bandana as a face covering. Despite the appearance of slightly ruffled pants, there is no evidence of an ankle monitor being worn by Hanks in the photos.
Folks will actually make it. And first up is the writers.
Photographs of Hanks sporting shorts weeks later revealed no sign of an ankle monitor on his legs. Any potential arrest of Hanks would undoubtedly have garnered extensive coverage from news outlets. While engaged in a film project in Australia, Hanks made the announcement on March 11th that he and his wife, Rita Wilson, had tested positive for the emerging pandemic. The couple subsequently returned to Los Angeles on March 27th, and their arrival was documented in photographs. But it appears that wasn't enough to deter the conspiracy theorists, because it has been claimed that in 2021, BBC News featured an actual headline reporting the arrest of actor Tom Hanks on 135 counts of child possession. Fast forward to May 9th, 2023, when a Twitter user also shared a compilation of images, one of which seemed to depict a screenshot from a BBC report alleging that Tom Hanks had been arrested. The headline read, "Tom Hanks arrested on 135 counts of child possession." Beside it was a photograph of Hanks with his wife, Rita Wilson. The purported BBC screenshot was a product of digital manipulation, and its headline was entirely fictitious. But that didn't stop people from circulating this fabricated image across various websites and social media platforms, with its origins dating back to at least June 2021.
So there is going to have to be some sort of sit down and for the common good of the story, the arts and sciences, and the business of show.
Reportedly, following this incident, Tom Hanks relocated to Greece and was granted Greek citizenship. There were allegations that this move was accompanied by a fabricated narrative suggesting that he was shifting to Greece due to the exposure of suspicious activities. Hollywood fans have been keeping their eyes to the matter. One of them wrote, "I was having a hard time believing Tom Hanks until he disappeared in the spring of 2020, supposedly quarantined for COVID-19, and then immediately and suddenly became a citizen of Greece. That was enough for me to open my eyes." Another one wrote, "The fact that Tom Hanks has been silent on this subject since it began speaks volumes. If it was just a fake conspiracy, Hanks has the money and the power to sue people for libel and slander. He has not sued anyone. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye."